Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV here in Germany, Hamburg, being joined with Conor Benn. Conor, hey man, this convention's cool. I don't know, usually when fighters come to the convention, it's to enjoy themselves, to relax, but sometimes too, it's to like get a fight. I know the whole world's awaiting your return. Is there any details, anything you could reveal at this point when you're returning?
I know 2 offers have been sent into Barrios.
Yeah.
2 good offers in my opinion. You know, not dummy offers, not silly offers. So, you know, hopefully we get that fight done and tied up for Q1 of next year. I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
So, really, it would have been ideal to have got the verdict and be straight out, have an announcement ready for my supporters. You know, for me, my last 2 fights has been in the US, in Florida and in Vegas, which was a pleasure, but I always get shown love over there. You know, so whether I win the title back home in the O2 Arena or I'll come to America, it feels like my second home.
With the Barrios fight, one, I think it's a very good fight. It's going to be an action-packed style-wise. Do you want that fight to be in the UK, or is there anything on their end where they're like, hey, come to America? Do they prefer to go to America?
No, from what I'm aware of, I believe Barrios wants to come to the Lions Den. Yeah, he wants to come to the Lions Den. I feel like it would be a great experience for him, as well as being in the United Kingdom, you know, getting a feel for the British fans. And when the British fans are behind you and they support you, they come out in multitudes. So for me, the homecoming, it'll be about almost 3 years since my last fight in England. I haven't fought in England for almost 3 years. Yeah. You know, so for me to come back and have the homecoming for the WBC world title, what a story, what a blessing. You know, the story ain't finished. You know, so this was just a chapter in my book that's closed, and I'm excited for this next chapter, next season of my life.
Is that return fight with Barrios, you think it's going to be March, around that time, April?
February is what I'm hearing.
Oh, not the February 22 one, though. That one's already set, yeah.
Not February 22, but I'm hearing February, O2 Arena. That's what I've been told. That's what I'm preparing for. My weight's going well. You know, I've dropped down in weight massively from what I was. So for me, I'm a 147 fighter. I'm most dangerous at 147. I was watching my fight back with Rodolfo Orozco, this morning when I woke up at 7:30 a.m. Just come up on my phone and I thought, it's actually a good fight. It's probably my favourite fight to date. Yeah, Orozco's probably my favourite fight because when you knock people out, yes, it's great, yes, it's brilliant, but when you go the distance, you have to show so much, especially when you've got an aggressive Mexican fighter who's coming forward, who's massive. You know, he must have come in there at about 180. He was massive. So for me to show discipline, composure, you know, agility, power, combinations, engine, discipline through the 10 rounds when you're getting peer pressured, it showed me a lot. You go through fights in life and you're going, yeah, I learned that from that. Yeah. You know, in my last fight, I didn't really take anything from it because it was just a very negative fight. It was like, it was a nothing fight because the fight was so defensive. But with Orozco, it's probably one of my favourite fights to date. Yeah.
How do you, I don't know, when you watch the Barrios fight, is that where you're like, you know what, like I'm going to take this fight because of how he fought against Ramos, or were you already thinking about Barrios even before that fight?
Hey, do your research. Do your research. Yeah, I've been calling for him.
Well, you've been calling for everybody.
I've been calling for Barrios for almost 2 years.
But is it because the way he looked where you jumped at it even more like, hey, like I need to take this guy like right now because of how he looked in that last fight?
I haven't watched the last fight, but what I do know is it was a draw. I rate Ramos as a fighter. I think, again, he's a tough fighter, South American, that comes forward and, you know, really pushes his opponents. So, listen, we have bad nights in the office. Everybody has a bad night in the office. I mean, my bad night was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Apart from that, every fight's just learning. You know, I feel like even on my worst day, my bad days are still good days to some fighters. You know, I'm never in trouble. I'm never hurt. I'm never, you know, having a war with someone I need to have a war with. It may not be the highlight show reel knockout that everyone wants. I get the job done in the easiest way possible and still entertain. So, you know, for me and Barrios, I feel like he would wake himself up for a fight with me, especially coming to the United Kingdom to defend his world title. It has legacy written all over it, you know. And I feel like Barrios is built for me. I feel like he's a smaller Orozco. But will he withstand in 8-ounce gloves? I highly doubt it.
What's left to get it pushed over the line? Like, how certain that it is going to be Barrios?
Because I'm hearing there's still negotiations with Eubank happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only. I'm ready. I want Barrios. I've told the team, make me Barrios.
Instead, that's the priority.
That's the priority for me. Yeah. It's there. Yeah. It's right there. To come back off 2 years, 3 years not fighting back in the United Kingdom, to come back and win the world title, who many believed from the start said I couldn't. You can do anything you want to do in life. Even me being top 3, top 5 ranked in every governing body, you can do anything and be anything you want to be in life. It all just depends on you. How far are you willing to go? What are you willing to get here? So for me, it's all about the story. It's about the legacy. It's about the green and gold belt for me. For me, that's when you know you made it in boxing. So let the team handle negotiations with you. I say, listen, if this fight ain't done, imminently, then I don't care. It's a bit worse financial decision. No problem. No problem. I'm going to get paid. I get paid. And I'm going to continue to get paid. I'm at the start of my career. Can't say start, but I'm at a good stage. I'm at a good stage of my career. I like to point out that Miguel Cotto's just walking past, and he's like just the greatest fighter of.
Cotto, Ben loves you, bro.
I see him yesterday. He's the greatest fighter of all time, man. I don't get gassed to meet nobody.
You're just fanboying right there.
I don't get gassed to meet nobody. Like, you can put anybody in a room. Yeah. You can even put like Mike Tyson in a room or.
But Cotto. Why Cotto?
I just think he's just got the perfect style.
Prime Cotto was a freaking beast, man. Just pressure, the uppercuts, the body.
The way he's moving around, hands high. But when he throws it so effortlessly, he's one of them people that I watched and would, if I achieve half a quarter, 10% of what he has, man, I'll be a happy man. I don't get like that for nobody.
Very few people I get like that too with everything. So I feel like where you're coming from, where you're like, oh shit, like that's so and so. Hey man, how happy are you now? Like that, everything's like past you now, and like you could resume. Like, does it feel like like a weight's off? Like finally, like it's all in the past. I can continue forward now.
It's all in the past. Like I feel
like relieved.
Well, it's just like wow. Like how did I get past in 2 years? Like how did I do 2 years of this? How did I do it? Like genuinely, I look back and go, wow. I've had a daughter, I've moved house, I've had that fight in Vegas, in Orlando, I've done a lot in 2 years, so I sit there and I go, it was a painful period. I thank the WBC mainly for doing their due diligence and clearing me, 2 years ago. For me, it's like, this was done 2 years ago. Unfortunately, media and etc. made it what it was and what it had become, but ultimately, I was always innocent. Always. Every step of the way, every stage, everything I ever went through, I thought this is a fight worth fighting. So, I'm glad I come out victorious. Still undefeated.
In terms of this year, so say you get the Barrios fight, you become champion. At that point, does it become like I want to unify, or it's like I'm just going for the biggest names, the biggest events?
There ain't many massive names in boxing.
47, right?
But who knows who Boots is? Yeah. No, genuinely, who knows who? Like, I was walking around Philly, and people going, "Oh, Conor Benn, man, big fan, round side streets." And then I've gone to Miami, and the same thing then. While I'm running, Conor Benn, big fan. Fellow Americans. So for them saying I'm not a big name in the States, everyone's familiar with the Ben name over there in the States. And it's come to England, no one knows who he is. Apart from the boxing community, great fighter, second to Crawford in my opinion if you're talking welterweight division. He's that guy. I've made no secret in calling for that fight. But if you're saying big names, I don't look at him and go big names. I look at big names and go Pacquiao, the Broners, the Kell Brooks, the Khans, characters, people invest in, personality, there ain't much of that.
Yeah, at 54, maybe you could say that there's more economical names, but like, yeah, at 47, you got Barrios, you got yourself, you got Boots. Who else? The other champion, right?
Stanionis, you got.
Well, okay, the one thing, maybe the 140s, Teo, Devin, Ryan, might start moving up to 47, and then stuff gets interesting, real interesting.
Well, apparently, I've heard through the grapevine, Gervonta can't get on a roller coaster still. That's what I've heard. He still can't. They still won't let him on there. He's, ain't grown at all.
What's going on there with you guys? Where does that all come from?
He's just a mouthy little twat. That's it. Yeah. He just wanted to pipe up and start talking. Cool. Pipe up and start talking, and you're still 4 foot tall, and you still can't get on a roller coaster. That's it.
What do you think about that fight with him and Lamont Roach?
I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fighters that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come but don't come at me.
Yeah.
And go, oh yeah, let's give it all, very big bollocks, and go, oh yeah, let's give him some stick, and then make out like we want the fight, and then we send an offer over, and then you fight for 15 million, and yet you fight Lamont Roach. Don't do all that. Do you know what I mean?
It was a real offer. That was true then.
It was a real offer. We offered. I said, listen, you keep talking shit. My promoter's going to get back to you in 48 hours. 50 minutes. Initial offer sent over. But was it Unquell didn't let him out to play? His boss didn't let him out. That's it. So he wants to talk about 50 million. First offer.
There was room to negotiate.
Of course there was. But he's an idiot. I don't even know if he knows what negotiating means. So you got him, and then you had Devin Haney. Well, where are you lot at now? Because I'm free now. All you lot want to talk shit on Twitter and on Instagram. Where are you lot now? Puss. And then you got Queen Ryan. Fuck knows what's happening with him.
The exhibition.
And he'll probably get battered.
You think so?
I think he'll get battered, yeah. Listen, all of these lot who piped up, all these Yanks and all these Americans who wanted to say something, where you lot at now? Because I'm free. All you lot can talk while my hands are tied. Where you lot at now? Nothing. No, nothing. So, as I said, for me, I can fight all them lot. I'd even do a catch weight with Gervonta, a 143.
Yeah, you can make.
I would make 143
for him. That's a special
143 for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Apart from that, then
you got to make sure there's no rehydration, because it might be like the Ryan situation again.
Yeah, he won't take the fight. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people are strategic and tactical in the way they approach boxing. You hear things and you know things, and then what's publicised completely different. In forms of intentional leaks, in forms of false truths. So his career's been very well manoeuvred, very well manoeuvred. Fight Shakur. I bet you he'll retire before he fights Shakur.
Everybody wants to see him fight Shakur, yeah.
Why call me out? Why is he fighting Lamont Roach when there's plenty of fighters who would fight him? So spineless. That's what he is. So he just talks rubbish. He talks rubbish. There's no truth in what he's saying. Don't pipe up. You see, when I pipe up to somebody on social media, you see if I'm saying something, I'm saying something.
You mean it.
I mean it. I'm saying it. I'm saying it with chest. I'm not mixing my words. Send me an offer. If that offer weren't good enough, you send me over an offer. I'll come to, where is it, PBC?
Yeah.
I'll come fight on PBC. How about that? So when you want to start talking and you pussy out, don't do that. It's embarrassing. You just embarrassed yourself. Piping up to a welterweight, then we send an offer over, you don't want it. It's embarrassing.
We might get this going now.
Barrios next. We'll start,
Okay.
Yeah,
You'll start there. Yeah.
No, do you know what it is? I start talking about these names, and I'm like,
You get hyped up.
yeah, Haney said that. Where's he at? The little minge bag. Where's he at? And then you got Queen Ryan.
Yeah.
And then you got Gervonta. No, I like Teo.
Yeah.
I've done an interview once, and someone's come out and gone, Yeah, Conor said he called you. I ain't call that Teo. I like Teo. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to stir the pot. He's going. Yeah, he just seen me a couple of days ago, man, and he was all friendly. I'm like, nah, I'd never called you out. Like, I like you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So people trying to stoke things.
Yeah.
Nothing needs stoking with me, because people will know you ain't gonna mix my words. Haney, Queen Ryan. Sorry, let me start again. Puss Haney, Queen Ryan, and Gervonta. Any of them three can get it after Barrios.
Obviously, like, we all wanted to see you and Chris. There's talk that he's going to face Erislandy Lara, which is kind of like a big left turn. Not a lot of people were expecting that. Were you surprised by that?
No, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I was definitely surprised by it. But for every step of Eubank's career, I've always been surprised as to why he's taken routes he's taken, gone down the fights he has. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I see him fighting Jake Paul next, to be honest. You know, so that's that. But I think it's a great fight. You know, he can go and get the world title with Lara, and I can get the title with Barrios, and the fight's even bigger then. So, you know, either way, it works. And, you know, maybe in 6 months to a year's time, I'll fill in more to the weight, 160. You know, so I do think it's great. I do think Lara beats him personally, based on Eubank starting with Zerameta and Lara with Danny Garcia. I think based on them performances, Lara gets the victory, wins every round, and potentially late round stoppage.
He's still good for 40 years old, is Lara, which is like surprising, man, honestly. Given the fight that's coming up next week, just quickly, Conor, your prediction, Usyk or Fury? Why?
I'm liking Fury at the moment. That just the way he seems to be taking the camp, the way his mindset is. Obviously, you know, after finding out what him and his family had went through during the fight week last time round, you sit there and you go, that you can't help but that have affected you. You can't help but that have played a massive factor into why he didn't come out with a victory. But no doubt he'll avenge that loss.
And finally, Benavidez and Morrell. How do you see that one?
I like both fighters, but I'm backing Benavidez.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love Benavidez. I just love his energy. I love what he's about. He's about business. You know, he's on smoke with everybody. You know, and I feel like he's a proper fighter, and he loves it. I think he's the same age as me, or younger than me even.
How old are you?
28.
I think he's 26.
Wild. Yeah, wild. Wild, yeah, he's a freak. Yeah.